All right, good afternoon, class. This is Mr. B, and we are doing lesson 17, which is multiplying one-digit numbers. Let me just get started really quick and exit out of this full screen thing. All right, the first thing I want to show you, there's no joke today, but it's a really cool math trick that I found. All right, so you take the month number from your birthday. For example, I was born in November, so I would take the number 11. Then you multiply that by 5, add 6, multiply that total by 4, then add 9, then multiply this total by 5 once again. And then to that, you're going to add the total. To the total, you're going to add the day that you were born. For example, I was born on the 25th, so I would add 25 to whatever total that I had. Okay, then you subtract 165, and then your answer that you should have is the month and day you're born. All right, it worked for me. Try it on a calculator. That's a good way just to do this really quick. And I found that I did, in fact, get my birth month and my birthday. All right, let's move on to our lesson for today. Our objective is to find a one-digit and a two or three-digit product. Find the product of a one-digit and two or three-digit number. Something very easy. You guys have all done this probably starting in second grade. So this lesson should be fairly simple for you guys. Also, we're going to do multiply dollars and cents by one-digit numbers. All right, there is no vocabulary tonight, so don't worry about your vocab. Go ahead and X that out on your paper. All right, so let's look at this problem. A ticket to a baseball game costs $24. How much would 3 tickets cost? You know, there's a couple ways we can do this problem. We can add them, 24 plus 24 plus 24, and when we do that, we can regroup and get 72, right? The other way we can do this is you look at the problem. You're looking at 3 tickets. So one ticket costs $24, so what you can do is do 3 times 24. And when you do that, you just follow the multiplication algorithm. So the first step you multiply 3 times the ones place, which is 4, and when you get 3 times 4, you get 12. Okay, so you bring down the 2, and since you can't put the whole 12 down here, you're going to regroup the 1 to the tens place. So then you do 3 times 2, which is 6. Oh, that's over here. 3 times 2 equals 6. Then you're going to add the 1 that you added to the top over here, and that's where you get 7 from. All right, so your answer would be $72. Okay. So on the back, I just want you to write down the steps that you would take to answer a multiplication problem. So you would do step 1. We're going to multiply the ones place first. And we're only doing the steps of multiplication of a one-digit to two-digit or three-digit number. All right, so whatever steps that you take in order to solve a multiplication problem with a one-digit multiplier, put that on the back. All right, if you have any questions, just go ahead and write your questions down. Okay, so let's go to our examples next. Example number 1. A ticket to a show costs $12. How much would 4 tickets cost? So we can find the answer by adding 12 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12, and we find that it's $48. But the easy way of doing this is just to multiply 12 times 4. And when you do that algorithm of 4 times 2 equals 8, and then 4 times 1 equals 4, you get $48. So pretty simple to do this problem. All right, example number 2. It says 6 different times next month a salesperson must take a 325-mile road trip. How many total miles will this salesperson take or travel next month? So that the way that they solved this was they multiplied the 5 by 6 and get 30. Just like I said, just do the multiplication algorithm. 6 times 5 is 30, 0 on the bottom. Regroup the 3. 6 times 2 is 12 plus 3, which equals 15. And then bring down the 5 and then regroup the 1. 6 times 3 is 18 plus 1 equals 19. All right, so in 6 trips, the salesperson will travel 1,950 miles. Remember, whenever there's a word problem, you always put down what you're trying to find, which is, in this case, miles. All right, next in example 3, we're going to use dimes and pennies to illustrate 3 times 14 cents. So if you look here, we have 14 cents, which is 1 dime and 4 pennies. Okay, and what they did is they laid it out 3 times, and we find that we have 3 dimes, and then we also have 12 pennies. Okay, so what we can do with these pennies is we can take these pennies and take 10 of them, because 10 cents equals 1 dime. So I'm going to take 10 of these pennies and I'm going to trade it out. And what you're going to do is take 10, you're going to make a new dime, and then you have 2 pennies left over. So it looks something like this. It becomes 4 dimes and 2 pennies. And if you just count them, 10, 20, 30, 40, and plus 2 cents, you have 42 cents altogether. All right. On the back, I want you to write, why are dimes and pennies a good model for multiplying cents? Think about the tens and think about the ones. All right. This is a good way to show why this is it's a good way to show multiplying. All right. And I want you to give me one reason why this is a good model for showing that. All right. Let's go to example number 4. So pens cost 25 cents each. Let's find the total cost of 6 pens. You should be able to do this in your head if you just count the 25 cents. But I'm going to show you, or the example is going to show you the algorithm of doing this. All right. So we have 6 times 5, which equals 30. Bring down the 0 and put the 3 up on top of the 2 to regroup it. Okay, next we're going to do is 6 times 2 is 12, plus 3 is 15. So you bring down the 5 and regroup the 1. Okay. Now, there's no dollars to multiply. Well, you do 6 times 0, which is 0. You add 1, and that's the end of the algorithm. Now, what you need to do is you need to insert the decimal point. Okay. The way I like to show it is that there are 2 decimal spaces right here. We could count them, 1, 2. And so I start from this end. I'm going to count 2 spaces, 1, 2. And that's where you insert the decimal point. Okay. And then always add in your $sign as well. All right. And I think that's it for my examples. If you have any questions, make sure you write them down right now. All right. So for lesson practice, you have A through J. Make sure you write your answers on the side. Show your work. And also for your word problem, make sure you answer exactly what they're asking for. All right. Find the number of minutes. Okay. So if you have any questions, let me know. Enjoy your homework tonight and see you tomorrow.